Oh, welcome back, my friends, for another fun reloading video. Today is going to be episode 7 of our 357 Magnum series. Today, we're using the Lee 358-158 flat nose, and we're going to be using IMR 4227. And yeah, that's what the bottle looks like when your buddy says he's got an 8-pound jug. And I was like, well, let me try a pound of it. So it's what it is. I saw him take it out of the real jug. So, you know, don't worry. It's not like Bubba's gun show gunpowder or anything. This is actually what it says. But anyways, yeah, we're using the CCI Magnum small pistol primers here, our Lee dies, and some Lee 358-158 flat nose. Quick close-up of our bullet here. These are size 2 358. They are once powder coated, a mixture of ruby red and signal white and whatever random crap was in the bottom of the bottle at that time when I was shaking it around. But they're all coated, and again, size 2 358. Our brass has been once fired, and I picked it up at the range, and then now it was once fired by myself, so we're at 2 times fired total. We have been resized, fully prepped, we are now primed, and our case mouths are also expanded, so we are ready for powder and bullets. And here's a look at our 4227. It does look a little bit like maybe 2400 or something. It's kind of a really small extruded powder, but you can see some larger sticks in there. A new powder to me, so it's going to be kind of fun learning its characteristics and playing around with it, because it'll work for 300 Blackout and 350 Legend, as well as here in the 357 Magnum, all that fun stuff. But let's look at some data here and see what we're going to try and do with it. So here's some data we found. The Lee manual in the rifle section for 158 grain XTP says 14.5 to 16 grains. So that was the Lee book. And then the Hornady rifle section, for their 158 grain XTP data, they suggest 12 to 14.3. So Hornady's maximum is lower than Lee's minimum for the Hornady bullet, and both in a rifle. So that's interesting there. Some conflicting data. Not sure what to do with that. But then in Hornady's pistol section for the 158 XTP, they're suggesting a higher starting load at 12.4 and a higher maximum load at 14.5. And then in the Lyman book, their cast pistol data here for the 358 156, they say 11.4 to 15.2 grains, and that was a 150 grain bullet, I'm pretty sure. The 358 665, this is a 160 grain bullet, I'm fairly certain, 14 to 15.5 grains. And then the 358 311 says 11.8 all the way up to 17 grains, and that's in the Lyman pistol and rifle data. They pretty much just copy and paste it there. So 160 grain bullet with 17 grains. That seems like a lot, but then, you know, it says as low as 14.3 in the Hornady manual. Having said all that, I'm going to start at 14.5 grains. We're going to test 15.0 and then 15.5. So that won't put me quite as high as the Lee or the Lyman books, but it'll put me above Hornady. So we'll have to see, and we'll have to watch our pressure signs here and just kind of be careful as we're testing, but we should be good. So let's get to throwing some powder at 14.5 grains. So there's our first charge of 14.5. I went ahead and labeled all of our cases just to avoid confusion in the future if there were some sort of mishap. So let's take a look here at our case fill. Oh yeah. I don't even have to turn the camera. You can actually see how bulky it is. So that's only 14.5 grains, and we'll get these 5 charged, and then I'll seat all of them at once. I'm not the charge master, but this is the RCBS trickle master. It's got like 6 gears from slow to fast to gonna overthrow to let's creep right up on it and get it perfect. Whoop, a little more. See, he needs an auto trickler. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Just perfect. 14.5 grains. That only took like, 6 seconds from start to finish. The Auto Trickler Master. Look at that. Just pours out like water, butter stuff. Flows really good for a stick. And we're just a little bit over on that one. Don't worry. The Auto Trickler Master has a scoop. Okay, that one's good. Okay, well, good screwing around. Let me get these done here and we'll show you what they look like when we're seating them. Okay, yeah, here's our 5 cases. They all look, pretty much the same. Just perfect. Let's go ahead and we'll get some bullets just seated on top here so we don't spill anything when we go to move it to the press and seat them there. We should be set up here from our dummy round, so very nice. Man, that purple maroon color we got going on, I love that right there. That looks very nice. Maybe my wife will go shooting with me. She'll be like, oh, you got some pretty bullets. I'll shoot that one. Ooh, squeaker. Coming in hot. But dang, if that ain't set up just perfect, I'll tell you what now, that's a good one. Oh, don't spill it. Don't spill them. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, let's finish these up and then we'll get to measuring some more powder here. Beautiful. We can do the shake and it's still got a little room in there. Nothing compressed just yet. And here's a look at 15 grains in our cases. We are getting up there. And it was noted on the Lyman book with the 17 grain charge, that one was compressed. So I don't know if we'll get to it with 15.5, but it, something to look out for. Although 4227 is a slower, bulkier powder, it's just something to note and to look out for here. And we're just gonna seat these 5 real quick. Here we go. Perfect, down to the same spot there. Excellent. All right, we have 1 charge left at 15.5, so let's get to dumping those. And lastly, a look at 15.5 grains. There it is, getting up to the top, but I don't think we're gonna compress. Here we are. It might be touching it, but there'll still be some shaking room, I'm fairly certain. Anyways, we're gonna get all these seated and then we will go on to crimping. All right, and now on for crimping. All right, here's our crimp die and we'll just kind of see where we're at and work our way into it. But that could be a pretty good start. But we do want enough to prevent any sort of setback from recoil. So we'll give that a shot and run through these real quick. Yeah, that looks just fine. Just fine. Let's go ahead and give it the plunk test and make sure it's going to work. And they plunked just perfectly, so we'll go ahead and run these home. We will get packed up. We will get out to the range. We will try to collect some data. Yes, of course, the beloved data. Data. You know, the informations we desire. So there we go. Okay, I'll stop rambling. Let's get out to it. See you in a minute. And just like that, with a little skiddly-doo, we are back from the range with the Zetas everybody likes, Mr. Bazet. So let's get on with your presentation. Okay, so we're going to start with our target here with our 14.5 grain charge. And this is when I learned that my gun shoots an entire few inches high where we're at today. So this first group is going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 are just a little bit off target over here. Roughly I would say 3-inch group at 15 yards. And our velocity data here, our 5-shot average was going to be 1139. Extreme spread 34 and SD of 12. That's actually freaking incredible. I didn't know we could do that with a pistol. Wow. Medium recoil, a little bit of unburnt powder. And again, we noted that 2 shots were off the paper at 11 o'clock. A quick look at our brass. Nice rounded edge to the primer. We're starting to flatten on top, but no cratering. No real pressure signs. Clean burning, but a little bit of unburnt powder was coming out when I took them out of the cylinders. So not a full burn there at 14.5 grains. And moving on to our middle charge at 15 grains, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 was just off the paper here. So again, roughly the same size group, maybe 3 inches, just like our first charge up here. And our numbers for 15 grains, 5-shot average of 1164, extreme spread of 55, standard deviation of 16, medium recoil, 1 shot off the target at 8 o'clock. So maybe over here. Again, about 3 inches, similar to our first group. And onto the brass here with our 15 grain charge. I didn't note any unburnt powder, much cleaner burning. Brass probably doesn't even need tumbled, so that's cool. Same exact condition on our primer, no cratering, and not fully flattened either. Looks the exact same as our first charge. On to our final charge, and probably our best group, 15.5 grains. Here's all 5 shots there. Probably a 2-inch group at 15 yards. All of them on paper, all of them more centered as well. So very nice. So yeah, that was probably our best group. 5-shot average of 1203, extreme spread of 53, deviation of 18, and I just noted medium recoil. So 15.5 grains of IMR 4227 looks very promising if I can do my part. And our brass looks just fine as well. Again, fairly round primers, just starting to flatten, no cratering at all. Clean brass, again, we probably don't need to tumble. Very nice, and you see that all throughout all of our charges today with 4227. Well, all right, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Our next step here with 4227, I think we're going to load up a few more at 15.5 grains there, 10 or 20 of them. See if the numbers don't report again like they did, because I kind of like that for a pistol load, not too bad. But we did have good numbers all around, but I think our best group, our best accuracy came from this higher load as well. We'll look back at our data and see if we can go any higher. Who knows, we might do that with our next episode. But for now, I think we want to confirm 15.5 because that was a nice medium accurate load that we could probably use for some plinking or something like that. So if you like this sort of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video for me. Also, go on over to Instagram and follow me at DummyRoundOfficial. So stay tuned for more. We will see you in the next one. Have a good one.